Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Today we will be learning about threading in C#.NET. So to create a thread in .NET, we have a thread class which resides in system.threading namespace. Whenever we create a thread, a thread has an overhead in terms of memory and speed. So it takes a lot of memory when we create a thread, and it takes time to create a thread. So that's one thing to note. So creating a thread takes time and space. Whenever we create a thread, Windows has to allocate lot of data structures to keep track of the lifetime of a thread. Like it has to create a thread environment block, thread kernel object, which is around 700 bytes on Windows 32-bit machine, and it has to allocate around 1 megabyte of user mode stack and around 12 kilobyte in kernel mode stack. So the point is that whenever we create a thread, we should remember that thread is an expensive resource, so we should be very careful before we create thread. So let's get started. How do we create a thread? So a thread in .NET can be created by using the class thread. Class thread resides in system.threading namespace, which is here. I'm using system.threading, and to create a thread, we just create object of a thread. So thread, for example, t equals to new thread, and here we can say what do we have. We have 4 overloaded constructors of thread class. So first one takes parameterized thread start, which is a delegate. Another one is thread start. This is also a delegate. Next one is with parameterized thread start. You can also say how much memory you would like to allocate on the stack, so maximum stack size, and the same with the next one. I think, yeah, thread start int max stack size. So just to keep it simple, we will create an object of thread start delegate. So we can say thread start is a delegate, t start like this equals to new thread start, and then it's a delegate which returns void and takes no parameter. If we go to definition of this, maybe we can see I have this, yeah, navigation. If you see it, it's a delegate which returns void and takes no arguments. So we can create a method which matches its signature. So we can say private static, so it returns void, name of the function we can say print, it takes no argument, like this, and then we can see print here like this. So t start delegate object is ready, and then we can pass that object to the constructor of thread t start. So now our thread object is ready, but it will not run. To put it into the running threads list of the thread scheduler, we need to say t dot start like this. At that point, our new thread, which is t, will be put into the list of running threads, and whenever scheduler will decide to run our thread, this thread will run. And let's say we can just print a message, hello from my new thread. And we just, so that we don't exit from here, console.readline, and we can run and see the output. Hello from my new thread, like this. So what we can do else, one thing we can do with the C#, we don't have to create a thread like this. We don't need this delegate object. We can just give it the name, and it will be automatically will be converted. The compiler will notice that okay, it has the correct signature, and then it will just put it. It will start running this thread, this method. So this method is the starting point or the entry point for our new thread T. There are a lot of things. There are some things we can do. We can, if we look at the object T, or there is this on this thread class, we also have some static methods and properties. If you like, the interesting one is like thread dot current thread. That means it will get us the reference to the current thread. That means if we are running here, this is our thread T1, but if I call this, if I access this property in the main method, then I am in the main method. We can check it out. Control, if we write, just we can print the ID, main thread ID, and we can just print dot ID, managed thread ID, like this, and then we can print it here, new thread ID. And then if we run now, if you see main thread ID is 1 and new thread ID is 3, so we have different ID. Oh, a thread has a unique ID attached to it, like this. So now we know we have created a new thread and we have got the ID. What else we can do? The next one is, the next interesting thing with threads is there is a thing which called foreground and background threads. And the concept of foreground and background thread is that whenever you are running a process, so this is a process, demo threading, this will be a process, it gets a thread, main thread it got by default. When it's running, your thread, your process will terminate whenever your main thread exits or deads or dies or finishes. That means whenever this main thread is finished, this will also be finished. But if you have a foreground thread, the foreground threads will keep the process running until they finishes. That means foreground threads will keep the process running, and that's a very important thing to notice, because if a foreground thread is running, that will keep the process alive. Your thread is alive, your process is not dead, even though your main thread is dead or completed. But if you have a background thread, all the background thread will die when a main thread or the main foreground thread dies. So that if the main thread goes completes, if you have a background thread which is maybe still running, it will be forced or it will be killed actually, and your process will exit, your process will be dead. But if you have a foreground thread, even though your main thread, which is also a foreground thread, dies, the process will not be dead. The foreground thread will keep the process alive. Yeah. And another thing, whenever we create a thread like this, then we can actually, let's say, we can print out here, can we say thread dot current thread dot is background, like this. We can print it out and see what we get. False, false. So that means it's not background thread. That means the thread which we get by default from the system, from the Windows, like our main thread, is always foreground thread. And when we create a thread using thread class, so by default our thread is a foreground thread, it's not a background thread. That means it will keep the process running, and we can demo it. Let's see, if we have a while loop, infinite loop, and then let's say we just print out print dollar, we can print date time dot now, like this. And now it's a foreground thread, so we can say this is a foreground, this is a foreground thread, and it's a loop. And this will, we can write here, instead of this we can write cw main thread finished. So we will write here, we will be printing the ID and its background, which is false. We will be creating, starting, and then we will write on here the main thread will be finished. But let's see if our process finishes. And as we know, since it is a foreground thread, the process will not terminate. This thread print, it will keep the process running. Let's see. You see, it was going very fast. We can have some delay here. Thread dot sleep for a second. We can, like this. Main thread finished, but the process is not finished. You see, we still have but if we say, we can say t dot, we can remove actually this, and let's run it one more time. Now we can say main thread is done. Even the main thread is finished here, the foreground thread, which is our print, this one, this loop is still running. It's printing date and time. So that's a quite important actually thing, and quite so we should be aware of this. But let's see, what if we say is background equal to true? If we make our thread a background thread, what will happen then? Then this thread will be forced to, or it will be killed actually, whenever main thread, whenever we go out of this will be dead. Okay, and then let's see, if you see, so here we did not get main thread ID, main thread finished. Our print thread actually did not get a chance to run. The loop we did not go, the loop has not started. So let me see what we can do. We can wait for some minute, for some seconds. Thread dot sleep, let's say 5 seconds, like this, and then we should see some printouts from our print thread. So it's printing, and now it's, whenever we see this, press any key to continue, that means our thread is gone. It's dead. So this was actually, then we have covered threads. So threads, so the summary of this tutorial or video is that threads are costly and they should be used with care. And whenever we create a thread by using thread class, then by default that thread is a foreground thread, and a foreground thread keeps the process running. So if your foreground thread is not completed, your process will not terminate. And you can change this your thread, your newly created thread which you create by using thread class, can change it to behave as a background thread. You just set the property to true, is background equal to true, and then if you have background threads, if in your process you have background threads which are running, they all will be killed, will be terminated, will be aborted whenever your main thread dies, or whenever all foreground threads are finished, your process will terminate. Yeah, so that was it for this video. I hope you learned something and you liked. Please write into the comments and like, share and comment the video. Thank you.